Today we're going to talk about residential window cleaning, specifically the workflow for cleaning windows both inside and outside on a regular house. Naturally, the first thing you want to do is introduce yourself to the customer. You still just want to let them know you're there. So go up to the door, nice, knock, knock, knock with one knuckle, nice and quiet. Don't ring the doorbell at first. If they don't answer the first time, then okay, but it kind of leaves a better impression if you knock instead of ring. Some people get really perturbed by ringing doorbells. Don't know why, but we want to make sure they're happy with us, so just give a knock. Once they answer the door, you want to introduce yourself, let them know what your plan is. This is one of the most crucial steps for any job. Let them know exactly what you're going to do, where you're going to be at different times. I let them know exactly my routine, A to Z. That way they have in their mind exactly where I'll be and they know how long it'll take so they can prepare themselves for the rest of the day. You let them know if you're going to be working upstairs or downstairs or starting on the back or the front, because that helps them know how they can work around you. They don't want to be in your way. They might want their own privacy. So they know if you're going to start in the back of the house, they can stay in the front office and be out of your way. Or if you're going to start in the front, you get the idea. They want to be out of your way so that you can do your job well. 2 rules of thumb: use some type of boot cover. Don't take off your shoes and let them smell your smelly socks. Use boot covers over your feet. And second, instead of using a bucket that could tip over and spill everywhere, use some type of a spray bottle. Any bottle will do. You can just use a soap bottle and fill it with water and a little dash of soap. And that minimizes spills, and it also helps them to see you're not here to throw water everywhere. You're not going to make a bigger mess. You're just cleaning. You're not making it harder for them. With that said, let's get started with the actual cleaning. A lot of these things are kind of subject to personal preference, but I do like to start with the inside first. That way, I'm not going to track any dirt around or mud if I'm walking around a muddy lawn. So I get inside, I start upstairs, work around in a circle. That way it's kind of a good flow for me. If I have somebody with me, I can take the screens out from the upstairs while whoever's starting outside can do the other. Now, obviously we're talking more about if you're cleaning alone. So with that said, I still like to start upstairs, work around in a circle. If you're cleaning windows upstairs and they drip down, you want to clean the downstairs after. And so a lot of houses have harder to access windows on the inside that could be staged above something else. Like I said, I like to start upstairs. I work, either pick the right side or the left side of the house and work around in a circle around the perimeter of the home. I pull out the screen first, so open the window, make sure you get it inside, wipe down the track, close the window, and make sure that it's locked. Once I have the window secure, I'll take the screen and set it to the side and begin actually cleaning the window. Now, if I have somebody who's outside cleaning with the water fed pole, I'll make sure to get around all of the upstairs windows first before I commence with cleaning. If I'm not having to worry about somebody on the outside, it's just me, then I'll take care of each window one at a time as I'm going around. Now, you gotta be a little bit snoopy sometimes because you never know where there's a hidden room or a hidden window, and you gotta get all of them. So just pick a side and work your way around either clockwise or counterclockwise, working room by room, window by window, checking each door as you go along the way. Once you finish all the upstairs windows, you can go downstairs and do the same thing. Now, in case you haven't already figured out how to clean an entire window, I always start with, like I said, the tracks first. Close the window, apply the soapy solution, wash the window, and then wipe down the windowsills. Once I'm on the outside, it's very similar, but I do all the inside windows first. Then I get to the outside, wash the screens, clean the windows, and at the very end, when I'm putting the screens back in place, that's when I do a spot check. Now, I really can't stress enough how imperative it is that you check every single door for every single window. It's really easy to miss one of these little hidden windows in a closet or in a side of a bathroom. So be diligent and look for every piece of glass you can find. Now, bonus points if you clean some mirrors for them. They're gonna love you for it. Okay, so I'm just about finished with the upstairs windows. Once this is done, I'll be able to go downstairs and do the same exact thing. Now, when you get downstairs, that's kind of a chance where you can take a break. If it's a big house in particular, sometimes you might need to restock on some towels or on a little bit more water. Not always the case usually for me. This much water gets me through a large house just on its own. I can get a 6,000 square foot interior all taken care of with that 32-ounce spray bottle. Having said that, sometimes you just need a couple extra towels, or you need to go get a ladder for a higher window that you didn't notice before coming inside. So grab what you need to do, get a cup of water or whatever you need, and then come back in and regather for the downstairs. Otherwise, I'll try to wait until I get outside to take a water break myself but it is important to stay hydrated. So keep busy, keep the flow moving. Ideally, you want to come into the house with everything you need at the very beginning, so that way you don't have to make another truck stop, because every time you have to go outside or make an extra walk, that's extra time that you're stealing from the rest of your day, ruins your ability to do more work and earn more income. I do need to reiterate, screen management is crucial. You want to make sure that they're stacked in order from the windows as you're going around. That way, when you want to go put the screens back into the proper windows, it's all in order, exactly how you took it down. So I want to make sure if I started on the left and work around clockwise, then the bottom stack is going to be the first window to the left of the upstairs. And same thing for downstairs, the first window to the left of the doorway, or vice versa. However you're doing it, just be consistent. That way, if you have somebody else with you, they know exactly where things are going. Thankfully, most houses have a couple of windows that are a little bit smaller than the rest, or larger, and those kind of act as anchors, so you know if there's a really big screen that goes in the front and there's no big screens in the back, well then that one goes right there. Once you finish up with all the inside windows, you can come outside, and if you haven't already removed all the downstairs screens, take care of that next and get to cleaning. Once we've cleaned all the glass, and by the way, when it comes to cleaning, if I'm using the water-fed pole, I'm going to start around in the back, furthest corner from my vehicle, and work across the back, down the side, across the front, and all the way back to where I started. That helps prevent me from having to walk around the house or up and back and forth as much as possible. I want to do as few steps as I can to be as efficient as I can and finish as quickly as I can. If you're using traditional tools, then it doesn't really matter where you start. Just start in a position and work around from there. If you've got two people, you can start one person to the left of the front entry, the other person to the right of the front entry, and work around till you meet in the middle. Alternatively, you could have one person start with the upstairs windows and the other person shadowing right behind them with the downstairs windows. And usually there's less windows upstairs than there are downstairs, so whoever's going upstairs will kind of be able to stay at it, because it takes a little bit longer with all the extra ladder climbs, and that helps kind of keep the spacing even. Once all the upstairs windows are clean, they can help with the downstairs windows. It's easy as that. Now, my habit has always been, once I'm done with cleaning all the windows, to clean the screens last. That's debatable. That's up for you to decide for yourself, but we hand dry them. We tap them and wipe down the frames anyways, so they're dry as soon as we're done cleaning them. We don't have to wait for them to sit and air dry. If you just want them to air dry, you don't want to wipe the rails, that's completely fine. Then do the screens before you clean the exterior glass. Once all of the outside screens and windows have been cleaned and the inside's done as well, you can go back and put the screens in place. Now, in Texas here, we have a lot of the security screens, the ones where you can only remove them from the inside of the house. So we have to go back inside and we kind of just mirror what we did before. We start downstairs, work around in a circle, go upstairs, do the same thing. And we have the upstairs screens stacked in one pile and the downstairs screens stacked in the other. In this house in particular, we don't have to go back inside for that. So we are going to just simply ladder up and put the screens back. You can always go inside and put the screens in without having to use a ladder, but that's up to you. For us, it's just kind of faster and easier. There's only a couple of them. I don't mind climbing. It keeps me healthy, keeps me in shape. So you do you, I'll do me. When it comes to cleaning the tracks, sometimes after you clean with the water-fed pole on the outside, a little bit of the dust and debris can drip down into the sill. And so if you cleaned the tracks already, you need to go back through on the inside to double check and wipe down any of the tracks to make sure there's no extra dirt that kind of leaked in there with the water. And now that we've gone and we've cleaned all the windows in and out, we've put the screens back in place, we double checked the tracks to make sure there's no extra dirt that leaked in there, we're good to go. So we let the customer know at the very beginning that if they're on a phone call, they're in an office, or they're taking care of something important, or they needed to leave early for lunch or something, then we got them, we'll email them the invoice. But I know a lot of people like to collect as soon as they complete. So you just make sure you follow up with the customer, let them know you're done, and if there's anything else that you'd be happy to help with. A lot of guys like to go do a walk around with the customer. I personally think that the customer's time is more valuable than an extra walk around. I let them know if they see anything afterwards, then they can go ahead and reach out to us and we'll come back to touch it up. But I am always fairly confident there's nothing that we left uncleaned. So that's up to you. That's your prerogative. Determine for yourself what's most valuable for your particular customers. Some people are a lot more picky, and if you're concerned that they might call you back, then by all means do a walk around with them. I I do walk around with some customers who might have higher attention to details. And oftentimes, because they've been a little nitpicky or they've been really concerned about things or have a lot of questions, those are the ones who I'll volunteer to walk around with them and give them the option and the space to ask me questions and confirm that everything is done to their satisfaction. Now, after we're finished with everything, the job is not done. We want to make sure that we follow up with them and confirm that everything was great and that they had a good customer experience. So in Jobber, I have automated emails that go out to all my customers, depending on what type of service they had. And I confirm that they had a good experience and ask them for a review. We got to get those Google reviews, guys. With the way AI is working and, search is dead, at least old search. Google has their AI search mode now. Your reviews are one of the most important and crucial markers to help differentiate you to your customers from your competition. So make sure that you get as many good 5-star reviews as you can. Stock up on them because that is one of the primary markers for when AI is searching for a business. Now, final thoughts. I just wanted to touch base on a couple things before I let you go. When it comes to cleaning inside first versus outside first, that's a flexible thing. You can do what works better for the given situation. I've always done the inside first. That way, number one, I don't track anything through the house. Additionally, I just want to make sure that I can get those upstairs screens. And many times where we're at, a lot of the screens have to come out from the inside anyways. So I want to make sure that we can get those out of the way and just kind of cruise from there. If they have a different arrangement where perhaps they need to be gone when you start, then by all means, start on the outside first. It's not a big deal. You can do whatever works for you. But I've just found, in general, it's worked easier and more efficiently for me to start on the inside first. So if you have any other questions, that's roughly how I orchestrate my day or a particular job. Obviously, there's a little bit of nuance that can come in if you have more people working with you. It gets more complicated if you have 3 people. You just got to keep everybody busy. But starting out, you usually don't have to worry about that because it's going to be just you and maybe a buddy. So if you got any other questions or you have any other input that might help other guys when they're kind of planning out how their workflow is going to be, go ahead and comment below and we'll all jump in and kind of join the conversation. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video and you have a good one.